Welcome back to the farm once again, out on this beautiful, kind of a mild winter day in Northwest Ohio. Again, we're not out on my grandparents' farm because we don't have steers anymore. I'm actually very fortunate to be over at the neighbors at their beautiful farm here out in front of all their steers. Well, they kind of disappeared, but maybe we can get them come back around. But anyway, today's Chore Chat is actually on working well with others, And the one chore that really helped us learn that skill was sorting cattle. Talk a little bit about this chore, sorting cattle. I invited my cousin Bret once again out here to the farm. And Bret, there's 2 times when we would sort cattle, right? When they were sick or when they were being taken to the market. Can you tell us a little bit about that process of sorting cattle?
Sure. We'll start with the sorting the cattle when they're sick. When we're out there bedding them down and going through and walking through the cattle and stuff, we would take a look, and if we saw somebody that had like an extra runny nose, or if they looked like they're moving a little bit slower, we'd have to isolate them and put them in what we call the sick pen. Yeah,
absolutely. And when we were sorting those cattle, it's kind of like herding cats, right?
Oh, yeah.
They don't want to go where you want them to go, and sometimes one will slip past you, and your other, the other farmhand, your Bret, or not Bret, you're Bret,
right?
But Ryan or Dane would miss a cow or a steer, and they would slip past them, and then we'd get frustrated because we'd have to redo the whole process over. And it was really important to communicate well with one another and work well with one another, so that wouldn't happen. But so when it comes to sorting cattle, when it comes to working well with others, what are some of the best practices that you like to?
Well, obviously it takes teamwork. Just like you said, you had a couple hundred cattle in some instances that were all together, and you're trying to isolate maybe one of them. So getting them to separate, really working as a team, blocking doors, closing gates, using a stick or something like that, just to kind of distract them. But it really took a team effort. It was a team effort to really get them isolated and get them to the sick pen.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. One thing we'd always try to say is assume positive intent, because we're all going to make mistakes. A cow's going to get by. We can't get frustrated and point fingers and blame one another. We just assume positive intent. We're all out there trying to do a good job and to get the steers sorted. And that's just like in the business place. Sometimes people are going to make mistakes, whether you work on a farm or not, or an office building or a restaurant. We're all going to make mistakes. But when you assume positive intent and you show respect and appreciation and you act with integrity and you actively listen with one another, that's when you're really working well with one another. And that's where the magic happens. So, Bret, I appreciate you coming out here, telling everybody a little bit about sorting cattle. Oh, but the other one you didn't talk about is when you sort cattle to take them to the market. Right?
Oh, yeah. Just when you're sorting cattle, take to the market, that's a process too. They're not all ready at the same time. When we started taking in the feeder cattle that we took in, it would take probably about a month and a half. So we'd have to go through and pick the biggest ones first, because they don't all grow. A bunch of individuals out there, they don't all grow at the same instant, and we didn't haul them all the way on the same day. So we're just looking for the most healthy, the best quality of meat, and the biggest ones.
Yeah, and then came the one of the hardest chores, or the smelliest chores, cleaning the barn. And we'll save that chore chat for another time when we're actually cleaning the manure out of the barn, right? So, all right, Bret, I appreciate it. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next chore chat.